Oh my god, are we starting?
Yes, we are.
Oh my god, well, oh my god, how did we even start this? I'm so excited. Oh wait,
Yeah.
I'm using a Disney Sing It microphone. So,
Yeah.
we're a little under budget right now, but we're gonna get there. Yeah,
Yes.
this is our first
Podcast.
podcast.
Episode.
Oh my god. Okay, well, let's start. Okay, so this is Q&A with Liz and Julie.
Mhm.
I'm Julie,
And I'm Melissa.
but we call her Liz.
Yeah, for short.
Wow, okay. So in this podcast, let's start from scratch.
Yeah.
We wanted to make a podcast a while ago, but it fell through. It was called Sipping Tea with Liz and Julie. It was a great name. And we were just going to talk about, you know, like
Gossip, what's going on now.
the tea.
The tea. That's why it's called Sippin' Tea.
Boom. And we were going to sip tea in it. It was going to be great. But, you know, like, it just didn't catch on. So we kind of fucked that. I'm going to bleep that. But, you know, we kind of said, you know, like, F that. Because we never even started it. We never made a freaking episode. So, you know, F that. And recently I had an epiphany, right?
Yeah.
I had an epiphany and I was like,
Today.
why don't we just answer one question each episode, but make it like a real question, not like a stupid
Because we
question.
ask each other questions all the time that are about our lives. So we decided to do it on this podcast.
Yeah, like, so we're gonna answer one question each episode and just answer it how we think. So we may have the same answer, we may agree, we may disagree, might get spicy, but we want you to answer the question as well in the comments.
Yep.
So we're just gonna get it started. What's today's question? You act like we don't know.
No.
Today's question is, what is a soulmate? Do you want to take it off?
Now you can start.
You want me to start? Okay.
Yeah. What do you?
So, I mean, like, here's the deal. I've had my own definition of what a soulmate is for years. And just recently, it has drastically changed. Like, it is just not the same.
Yeah.
Story time. So, like, when I was 14, and so on and so forth. So, oh, I just blocked your face. From 14 to, like, I'm gonna say last year, I had this idea of a soulmate. And I would always tell you, and Amanda, shout out to Amanda. I would always tell you, I would always say that, like, a soulmate to me, like, everyone has their one soulmate. That one person that's supposed to be their lover or, you know, romantic partner. And just everyone has one soulmate. But I don't believe that anymore. Like, I really don't believe it. Like, I do believe that a soulmate could be a friend, too. Like, I don't believe that a soulmate is just a lover, you know? But, like, I don't know if I can explain it. Okay. So a soulmate now, to me, because I'm in a nice relationship, and I am loved correctly in this relationship, and it's going great. So it's like opened my eyes to what a soulmate is. So my previous idea of a soulmate was someone that you are so similar with, someone who's just like you, and I would consider that our souls are the same, so we're soulmates, you know? And I would always say, like, oh, you might not end up with your soulmate, like your romantic soulmate, but that doesn't mean that you're not soulmates, if that even makes sense. But now, I feel like your lover soulmate, like your romantic soulmate, it's like you have to work on it. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So, like, maybe at first you weren't soulmates with this person, right? But now, but it's like through talking and through, like, being together, or, like, not even being romantic partners, like, just being with this person and accepting that person for what they are and knowing what they're going to say or knowing what they think before they even think it, or before they even say it, like, that's a soulmate.
Okay.
Making sense. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's, I mean, and that could be for friends too. And like a soulmate that is your friend could turn into a lover. But I don't think that everybody has their one soulmate. I do think that everyone has someone to be with romantically, whether they find them or not. So like someone could be alone forever and never meet their one person, but that just means that they weren't meant to find each other in a way.
I do believe that there's someone out there for another person.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't know, like I do believe in destiny. I do believe that things happen for a reason.
Yes.
So,
Quote of the day. Everything happens for a reason. I live by it. Continue.
So, I do believe there are soulmates, but at the same time, I don't know, I feel like everyone has their own idea and opinion about soulmates.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely, like, everyone has their own definition of love. Everyone has their own definition of a soulmate. Like, I feel like it's hard to just say, like, a soulmate is this. Like, yeah, there's a dictionary, you know, definition of a soulmate.
What you said about you thought that a soulmate was someone that you're similar with, I didn't, like, that's not what I believe. Yeah. I don't know if you still believe that, but...
No. It's not, for me, it's like, it's not, like, your soulmate doesn't, your soulmate's not you. Like, your soulmate's not your clone. Like, oh my god, we're so similar, you're my soulmate. Like, no.
Too much of something is never good. So,
just at me next time. But yeah, like, your soulmate is not someone who's supposed to be just like you. Your soulmate is someone who loves your soul.
And loves you for who you are.
Yes, and accepts you no matter your flaws or perfections. You know, like, loves your perfections but loves your flaws even more because they don't even see them as flaws. You know what I mean? And just that pure love for each other.
Yeah. I get that. Right? I mean, I don't know how to explain it. Like,
it's just so hard to explain. Like, this is such a broad, not broad, but it's just like, it's such a hard, difficult question. Because everybody has their own idea, you know?
Yeah. I feel like, at the end, right, I feel like when, you know, you get married, not saying that when you get married, that's, like, who your soulmate is, but I feel like after all these relationships that you go through, like, all those people weren't your soulmate, you know? Like,
oh, yeah.
All those past relationships. Like, you may think that you really love the person, but that's not who you're supposed to end up with, you know? So I feel like, and I can't even say it's because, you know, there's things such as divorce and all that shit, but...
it's okay.
All that S.
All that S! All that shiz.
But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like everyone does have their person, you know? I don't know.
Everyone does have their person. I agree with that, whether they find them or not. But everyone's person might not be their soulmate.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, like, let me further explain. So, Karen and Jim are together. And they love each other. And they get married and they die married and they're together forever. Oh my god, I popped something in my arm! Jim and Karen are together forever, right? But their souls may not connect in that way. Like, I believe you can have more than one soulmate. Romantic or, well, I feel like, I don't know, now we're getting into, like, ethics and morals here. Can you have more than one romantic soulmate?
Not at the same time.
But
no, because then that would go against what I believe, that everyone has their one person. And I feel like...
But I feel like that's separate from having a soulmate. I feel like you can have more than one soulmate. You know what I mean?
Well, if you're... Because some people believe that soulmate is about who you're meant to be. But
I don't believe that.
I was going to say, then that means you don't believe that. You believe that a soulmate is someone that understands you and loves you for who you are.
And, like, accepts you and, like, you vibe. Like, they vibe with your soul.
Yeah. So then that's not... It's different from what you believe. You know what I'm saying?
What's different from what I believe?
I don't know.
You're confusing me!
No, okay. I'm just saying that your definition of soulmate is different from how, like, the universal...
Well, yeah, everybody thinks that your soulmate is the person you end up with forever. I don't think that.
So that's what, then you believe that there's more than one soulmate. Because...
Yeah. Maybe I don't believe that you can have more than one romantic soulmate. But I don't feel like I don't think when you're born your soulmate is out there. The one could be out there, the one that you end up forever with, but they might not be your soulmate. And that just means you don't have a romantic soulmate in your life. You might just have friend soulmates. You know what I mean? But you might not have a romantic soulmate.
Okay.
Let's do it, yeah. So, that's what I feel.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm all confuzzled. I don't know. Like I said, I do believe that there's a person for you.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's your soulmate.
If I'm following your definition of soulmate, then yeah, I feel like I don't know. I feel it also depends on a person. So if someone vibes or like feels connected between their souls, whatever, with more than one person, like at a different time, like you have a different relationship, then there is such thing as more than one romantic soulmate. Because even if, okay, so these two people are together, right, but they end up breaking up and they get with another person, right? Just because they broke up doesn't mean that they didn't love each other.
That they're not soulmates anymore.
Not soulmates anymore. It's just that I guess they didn't find that person. So I guess I get what you mean. But with your definition of soulmate, then that means that there can be different soulmates because people can connect with each other and yet not still be together.
Yes. Yes, what you said. Yes. Yes, I couldn't find the right words, but she got it.
You know?
Yes.
So you believe there's more than one soulmate.
Yes, friend or romantic.
Yeah. And just not at the same time.
Yeah. Because, to clarify, in my opinion, your soulmate may not be the one you end up with forever. Because I consider you and Amanda my soulmates. Because we vibe and we accept each other for who we are and we love no matter what. And we can give tough love and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So I believe that we are, like, I think of them as my soulmates. Like, I've never, see, back in the day, when I was a young, naive little girl, I thought this one guy was my soulmate, but he wasn't. We were just so similar that I was like, oh my god, it's my soulmate, like, love it. But now that I've grown, it's just also with like growing and experience that you figure out what you truly believe in, and that goes for anything, you know, politics, or in this case, a soulmate, what a soulmate is. Because now that I've experienced different relationships and what I feel love is and how one should be loved and how one should be treated by their significant other, I know that.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been in many relationships, but I don't know. And also, it's about experience. So, I mean, the more experience you have, the more you learn about different things.
And even through others' experience.
Yeah.
You know? Like, even if you've never been, like, through many experiences in anything, but in this case, I guess it's relationships or soulmate-wise, it's learning from, I guess, movies, but movies is also, movies like, fake. But those 1 in a million realistic movies that are rarely in existence. But, and your friends and the people around you, and like maybe your mom went through something, or your dad, or someone that you know told you a story about their relationship, and then you take their experience and be like, oh, and you make your opinion from there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying that, you know, there are other people that you can get experiences from, but, you know, it's still different when it's your experience.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, when you, because, you know, like, it's those memes that say, like, giving advice to my friend, and it's just, like, you give such great advice, and then when it comes to
you don't take it.
You don't take it, or you just forget all the advice that you gave to your friend. Yeah. It is different when you experience it for yourself.
It's easier, honestly, like, as much as, like, a cliche or whatever, it's easier said than done. because you can say all you want to your friend about all this advice, and you may believe it. It's just harder to do for yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to get morbid here, but just as an example, like I've never experienced death. Like, this is
not relationship.
No, but like I've never experienced death firsthand. Like, I know of people who have died, and like friends of friends, family, or whatever have died, but I never experienced it of like firsthand, like yet, because you know we all die. But it's you know, you get upset, or like if a celebrity dies, you're like, oh, it's so sad, like you feel sad. But if someone close to you dies, it's a totally different feeling. That was a really morbid example, but that was the first thing that came to my mind. So yeah. What was the question? So what is a soulmate? I feel like I gave out such a long, dragged answer, and you're just like, yeah. Tell me your answer.
Your definition was that it's someone that respects you and understands you for who you are. And there's more than one soulmate, someone that vibes with your soul and stuff.
Right.
That's your definition. Mine, I don't know. Part of me is like, because I really don't even know what my definition is. So if I follow your definition, then I do believe that there is more than one soulmate. But if I follow like the universal soulmate, then that means I think that there's only one person meant for you.
Right. Well, what do you believe?
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, because in my past relationship or whatever
they were,
like I did vibe with people, like, and I do care for them, or I did. You know what I'm saying?
Would you consider them a soulmate?
I feel like because it wasn't a long period of time, I couldn't really figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I also feel like it depends on time. I mean, I'm not saying like because my whatever only lasted for like, you know, not that long, so I feel like I can't really tell. But also, for me, I may say it was only because it was my first real relationship kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? I can't really, yeah, I don't know.
You're puzzling me.
I don't know. I do believe that there can be more than one soulmate. Because you do, like, you can really feel something, you can really love someone, you can really vibe with someone and not be with them at the end.
It just doesn't work out.
It just doesn't work out, or maybe it's not your time, or there is someone else out there, but you did have something special with that person, you know? So that could be one of your soulmates. You were meant to be with that person, but not for a long time, but you were meant to be with them. So then that could be a soulmate because you were meant to be, just not forever.
Well, yeah, because that goes back to the quote of the day. Everything happens for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, I feel like if it comes down to, yes, I've had multiple soulmates, and yes, they were romantic, because I feel like you have to specify.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Right?
Well, I do believe that you can have soulmates for friendships, because, you know, you
yeah.
them.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I feel like everyone that comes in your life
is meant to be
is meant to happen. Because
mm-hmm.
everything happens for a reason to teach you, and you get that experience.
I was going to say, some of them is to teach you a lesson. Some of them is to
make you stronger.
Some of them is to just be in your life to make you happier.
It's just so funny how, like, especially in high school, because high school breakups are, like, the worst. Because you thought that you were going to be together forever, and you thought you were going to be that 1 in a million couple who was high school sweethearts. But it's just now being past all that and having gone through a high school breakup and all that stuff, it's just so funny that in the moment you get so distraught. It's like, I'm going to be forever alone, and I'm not going to find anyone, and like, oh my God. I'm like, you're 17 years old. Like, calm down. You know what I mean?
But, I mean, everyone experiences that, and because no one knows what the future is going to hold, you know?
But I'm just saying, like, from a future perspective and having been through it, I'm like why did I cry? Like, what? Like, why did I let myself you know?
But you know what? In every situation, it's going to be like that. So, like, if something, I don't want to be, like, morbid, if something, like, bad happens now, you're going to look back at it in the future and be like, why did I do that?
Right.
But it's going to always be like that. Because you don't know. Because you don't know in the future how you're going to feel or, like, oh, I thought that was stupid. You probably don't think it's stupid now.
Right. Because you grow. That's what it is. It's like you take the experiences, and as you move on, in the future you could be like, why did I do that? I was so dumb. Because you learned from it. And now that you have a grown-up mind, you're like, oh, well, thank God I did that, otherwise I would do it again. And I feel the same way.
And also, everything happens for a reason.
Right.
So, you were meant to break up with people.
Right.
Or you were meant to feel that pain because you learned from that experience. And now you know, like, not to do it again, or you know not to be with a certain type of person.
Right.
So...
And you learn your type, too.
Yeah.
And you learn what you deserve is really what it is. And this goes for girls and boys, too. Because I feel like a lot of people are like...
Who are you talking to? Just
boys
girls?
and they don't get it, and they don't care. And I'm like, they care. Especially if you're together for so long, and then the girl breaks up with the guy, and the guy's just, like, plays it off, and, like, he's just so mean to you, and, like, oh, like, I don't care about you. You wasted my 2 years, or however long you were together. And then it's like, well, then why didn't you break up with me, then? What's the question here? But I guess this all ties into what is a soulmate?
Well, that was a question.
Right.
Yeah.
We go off on little tangents here. We're learning how to do this, and we're having a great old time doing it. But, I mean, the computer's here, by the way. I'm not just leaning over to do anything. But I think we answered it pretty well.
Yeah. Honestly, what is a soulmate is really up to the person.
Right.
You know?
Well, yeah.
But this is just our opinion.
Well, well, yes. All of our questions are going to be our opinions. We're not saying facts. Like, we're not saying a soulmate is this.
Yeah, we're not telling you to
don't come at us. So, I think that's pretty much the episode. Ah! It's our first epi! Well, we want to hear your comments wherever this is going.
Please answer.
Please answer. Tell us what you think a soulmate is, and thank you for subscribing on YouTube, following us on Spotify,
Apple Music.
Apple Music, hopefully if we can get it. Thanks for watching, and follow us on Instagram. We love you. Promote us, share us.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week. We post every Sunday, so this was fun.
Yeah.
What is a soulmate? Let us know.
Yes.
Signing off. Ta-ta.